Hello, dear friends, and welcome to l'école à domicile, an opportunity offered to learners to keep on learning in these very particular circumstances. I'm Mr. Bakwetila, a teacher of English in the fourth form. Today we are going to learn how to conjugate a simple present of ordinary verbs. Indeed, everybody uses it every day. By the end of this lesson, you should be able to conjugate the simple present of ordinary verbs. Let us examine these questions. Where do you go on Sundays? And the answer, on Sundays, I go to church. On this answer, the subject is I. The verb is go. Second question, how does a bird move? The answer is, a bird flies. The subject is a bird. A bird. The verb is flies. Third question, do dogs like cats? No, dogs do not like cats. In this answer, the subject is dogs. We have an auxiliary plus negative form plus the verb like. Question, does your brother practice any sport? Answer is no, he does not practice any kind of sport. In this sentence, the subject is he plus the auxiliary does plus not plus the verb practice. Practice. Question 4. Where does the sun rise? The answer is the sun rises in the east. In this sentence, the subject is the sun plus the verb rises. We add an S to the end of the verb because the subject is the sun. We can replace the sun by it, by the personal pronoun it. Question 6. When does Dad often watch TV? Dad often watches TV at 8 p.m. In this sentence, the subject is Dad plus the verb plus often and plus the verb watch plus es. Here we are the third person singular. Dad watches. We can replace dad by the personal pronoun e and then watch and then es to the end of the verb because this verb ends in h. Let us examine the following model sentences from the different questions below. Let us examine the following model sentences from the different questions below. Question 1. Where do you go on Sundays? Answer, on Sunday I go to church. In this sentence, in this answer, the subject is I plus the verb go. Question 2. How does a bird move? A bird flies. Let's see this answer. A bird flies. A bird flies. We add es at the end of the verb because a bird, you can replace a bird by it. A bird flies. This verb ends in y, fly. Verbs ending in y, preceded by a consonant, we change y into I, and we add es. Question 3. Do dogs like cats? The answer is no, dogs do not like cats. In this sentence, the subject is dogs plus do not, plus auxiliary, do, plus not, plus the verb. Question 3. Do your brother practice any sport? No, he does not practice any kind of sport. In this answer, negative form, the subject is he plus does, the auxiliary does, plus not, plus the verb. Question 4. Where does the sun rise? The answer is the sun rises in the east. The subject is the sun plus the verb, to which we add an s, because we can replace the sun by the personal pronoun it, third person singular. Question 6. When does Dad often watch TV? Dad often watches TV at 8 p.m. In this sentence, the subject is Dad plus the verb watch, and we add es. Dad watches or he watches. So for the third person singular, we add es to the verb. Let us find the subject and the verbs and auxiliaries in these sentences. The subjects are I, bird, he, the sun. The verbs are go, flies, watches, and the auxiliaries are do and does. In the affirmative form, we have subject plus verb. Example, I, you, we, and they in sentence number 1. Subject plus verb plus an s for he, she, and it. Example, sentence number 4. Here are some exceptions or remarks. The different verbs which end in sh, ch, o, s, x, and z, we add es for he, she, and it. Example, sentence number 6. Verbs ending in y, preceded by a vowel, we add an s. But the different verbs which end in y, preceded by a consonant, we change y into I, and then we add es for he, she, and it. In the negative form, the structure is subject plus do plus not plus the verb for I, we, you, and they. Example, sentence number 5. Or subject plus does plus not plus verb for he, she, and it. Example, sentence number 3. In the interrogative form, we invert the subject with do or does. Example, do plus subject plus verb, and then we put a question mark at the end. Or does plus the subject plus the verb, and a question mark at the end. Examples, do dogs like cats? Does your brother practice any sport? Exercise 1. Let us conjugate the verb in brackets in the simple present. Sentence number 1, he in brackets, to finish, his work at 7 o'clock p.m. Sentence 2. Jane always, in brackets, to wash her dirty clothes before she, in brackets, to sleep. Number 3. On Saturdays, Mom, in brackets, to fry chicken and, in brackets, to serve us with joy. 4. Vegetarians not to eat meat but they, in brackets, to enjoy vegetables and fish. 5. Tom and Clara to catch the 6 o'clock bus to get to the school early. 6. A bee often to buzz around houses. 7. Dead people not to speak anymore. 8. Sam to eat a mango every day, every 2 weeks. The corrected exercise is 1. He finishes his work at 7 o'clock p.m. 2. Jane always washes her dirty clothes before she sleeps. 3. On Saturdays, Mom fries chicken and serves us with joy. 4. Vegetarians do not eat meat, but they enjoy vegetables and fish. 5. Tom and Clara catch the 6 o'clock bus to get to the school early. 6. A bee often buzzes around houses. 7. Dead people don't speak anymore or do not speak anymore. 8. Does Sam eat a mango every 2 weeks? When we conjugate the ordinary verb in the simple present, we add an S. We add an S at the third person for first person singular, he, she, and it. In the affirmative form, we have subject plus auxiliary do or does plus not plus the verb in the negative form. In the interrogative form, we invert the auxiliary do or does with the subject plus the verb, and then we put a question mark at the end. Dear friends, we are at the end of our today's lesson on the simple present of ordinary verbs. I'm sure that you have understood the lesson and will use it correctly in your daily situations. Thank you very much and see you soon. Bye.